لله والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam migrated with the Muslims to Medina, and he started doing the first few actions he took alayhi salatu wasalam, building the masjid, al-mu'akha bayn al-muhajirin wal-ansar, starting this bond of brotherhood between those who came from Mecca and those who were in Medina, of Muslims. And then he built the masjid alayhi salatu wasalam, and later on we said it was so simple as far as the construction. Then Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the Muslim, adhan was not there yet, even though they prayed, but adhan was not prescribed. So there was no way for them to get together to pray. So some people used to come early, wait. Some people maybe coming late, given that they don't have any watches or anything. So they started thinking about, and Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam requested them to suggest some ideas. How can we get together? How can we announce prayer, the 5 daily prayers? So some of them said, let's use the nafkh fil buk, we they blow the trumpet, some kind of whistle or so, to get people. Some people said we might put some fire in top, so people when they see it, they will know it's time for prayer. Some suggested the naqus or the ring or the bell, like Christians, like churches. Umar radiallahu anhu suggested, he said, why don't you say, say as-salatu jami'ah, like it's time for congregational prayer or so. Then Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam accepted this from Umar, and for some time they used to use it. Just say as-salatu jami'ah, they would come. Until some time later, Abdullah ibn Zayd, one of the Sahaba, he saw in a dream, a vision, the adhan that we have nowadays. And he came to the Prophet ﷺ and he told him, Ya Rasulullah, I saw in a dream a nice call for prayer, which goes like Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, the adhan that we have nowadays. Then Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam told Bilal, asked Bilal to rise up and say, because he said he has a good voice, his voice is better than you, so Bilal, go ahead and do it. He made it. Umar radiallahu anhu came from home and he said, Ya Rasulullah, by Allah, I have seen this adhan, I just have seen it in a dream in the same night. So I was about to come to tell you about it. So subhanAllah, Sahaba, they sleep and they dream about Islam. That's what they see. What do we see in our dreams? That was everyday life. That's why it came to them in the dreams. So it becomes, until nowadays, the adhan that was seen by Abdullah ibn Zayd and Umar ibn al-Khattab, and the Prophet ﷺ approved it ever since that time. Now, we said how unique was the relationship that the Nabi ﷺ started between al-Muhajirin wal-Ansar wal-Mu'akha. But then later on, Nabi ﷺ would start looking at the groups in Medina, and we said there were 3 groups in Medina. Muslims, that's majority, overwhelming. Yahud comes like minority, but number 2. And then there were still some mushrikun, some polytheists. They did not accept Islam or anything. Well, everybody decides for himself. So Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, now obviously he is the leader of this, because majority, almost all the houses, 99%, or not exactly the percentage, but sweeping majority are Muslims who give the pledge to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, even since he was in Mecca, that you come to us, we support you 100%, which is the meaning of the state. They elected him sallallahu alaihi wasallam religiously. He was chosen by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but they swear that they will support him. So they started forming the state, a form of a state that's taken shape. How would we do with these other groups? He started a treatment with every group of these. Even Muslims, he put like a constitution for Muslims. The constitution he put for Muslims was like this: المؤمنين والمسلمين من قريش ويثرب ومن تبعهم فلاحق بهم وجاهد معهم أمة واحدة من دون الناس. Muslims from Quraysh, being from Quraysh or from Yathrib, from Medina, and whoever joins them anywhere, Muslims, all of these form one nation that's separate from any other nation. So any Muslim, Quraysh, Yathrib, or anybody who joins them, that's number 1 constitution, he has the right of Muslims. Number 2, and the blood money. This group of Muslims, they will support one another as far as blood money if somebody kills or any problem happen, which was rampant at this time. They will pay off for him according to the custom that was going back then. وأن ينصرون المؤمنين في الفداء والدية, as far as the blood money, as far as freeing captives. If anybody of these is being taken as captive somewhere, it becomes the collective duty of the group to free him, because they now constitute one nation. Number 3, أنهم يقومون ضد المفسد والباغي والظالم كيد واحدة. All of them are like one body against any oppression or oppressor, against any transgressor, against any corrupt. They stand for truth. That's what the Constitution. حتى قال ولو كان ولد أحدهم, even though this corrupt, this oppressor is a son, is our son, is the son of anybody of them. So they stand against corruption wherever it's coming from. لا ذمة الله واحدة فيجير عليهم أدناهم. The lowest of Muslims has the same rights and the same advantages, privileges, privileges, just like anybody else. The lowest of them, can promise something, so all Muslims are just like one, and the lowest of them has the same advantage like the highest or so. نعم وأنه لا يحل للمؤمنين أن ينصر محدثا أو يؤويه. Believers should never support or offer a safe haven for anybody who is corrupt, anybody who is an innovator, anybody who is making any problem. That's a clean nation. وأنهم إذا اختلفوا في شيء فأن مرده إلى الله ورسوله. If they ever disagree about anything, it goes back to Allah and His Messenger. Because Islam came to rule, to judge. Yes, to decide or to regulate the relationship between people and prayers and rituals, but it also came to put a constitution for the state in case of dispute. يرد إلى الله والرسول. Then there was not that was the main constitution for Muslims between them. But the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, in every chance he would take to enhance the relationship between Muslims, solidarity, cooperation, يحضهم على التعاون على التناصر, to support one another, to help one another, to be good to one another. That was the constitution he Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam set for Muslims. Then the one for al-Mushrikeen, well, the Mushriks, it was very small category, just like a fraction, because even before Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam coming to Medina, already majority of it accepted Islam. With very few people, you can count them, they were still there as mushrikun. But even though Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, agreed with them on one thing, أنه لا يجير مشرك مالا لقريش ولا نفسا ولا يقول دونه على مؤمن. No one of you should support or give protection for anybody from Quraysh, because Quraysh is now obviously the enemy of this new state. You should not ally with them. We live together. You should not give them any support or anything. And they agreed to that, and this is how Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam settled down everything with them. The third category or group was al-Yahud, the Jews. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam agreed with them on these items. أنهم أمة مع المؤمنين ولهم دينهم والمسلمين دينهم. So we have circles. He said, now them Jews with Muslims, they perform one ally or one nation, being together, living in the same place. Obviously it's not. And then he said, لهم, they have their own deen, Muslims have their own deen. So they form one coalition, if you want. One coalition where everybody has his own religion. That's number one. عليهم نفقتهم على المسلمين نفقتهم. Not like Muslims. Muslims would support one another. Here he's financially. Here he says, or it says that everybody is taking care of himself financially. But we have this coalition as being two groups living together. وأن بينهم النصر على من حارب أهل هذه الصحيفة وعلى من دهم يثرب كل يدافع عن غيره. And they should support one another to defend anybody who is part of this treaty. That treaty, everybody who is involved, we should support one another against anybody who will attack Medina or Yathrib from any side. Everybody will defend from his side. We are just like one coalition. We cooperate as far as this. وأن بينهم النصح والنصيحة والبر دون الإثم. And they have common things in between them as far as exchanging advices, as far as any righteous, good thing, anything that's not bad. Like we have cooperation in anything that's good. وأن النصر للمظلوم, we offer support for anybody who is being oppressed, Muslim or non-Muslim. وأن اليهود ينفقون مع المؤمنين ما داموا محاربين. As long as there is war going on, we together spend for the military action to stop this violation or this war against Medina. وأن يثرب حرام لأهل هذه الصحيفة وأن ما يكون بينهم من حدث أو اشتجار فأن مرده إلى الله ورسوله. And any dispute, any problem, it should be referred back to Allah and His Messenger. So that means the Prophet ﷺ is the leader of the state. Islam is the religion of the state. Even for Jews, they should come back. The court for them is Muslims. The constitution, the rules they go by is Muslim because they were minority at this time. وأنه لا تجار قريش ولا من نصر. The same thing. They shouldn't support any, give any support for Quraysh or ally with them. وأنه لا يقول هذا الكتاب دون ظالم أو آثم. This constitution or these items should not be used as a way to protect any oppressor or any sinner. This is just meant to be good. So Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, it was so clear now that he is the head of this state, and Islam is the system that this state involving, including Muslims, Jews and Mushrikun, this is the one, they all go by. They signed freely, they signed this contract or this treaty, and Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam started, visiting Jews, giving da'wah to them, and also having sessions for Muslims, different group. He started, now this is like a new state that's going on. It didn't go like this. It was simple, easy, peaceful for the first part. It didn't go for long. Quraysh started, some istifzazat, or they started provoking Muslims and so on. As the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam was starting arranging everything down, building the masjid, and making mu'akha, starting these constitutions and treaties, and organizing the system of Medina with the different groups in there, Quraysh started contacting the mushrikun, because it's the same thing. The policy is like them. And they start urging them, if you fight with us, or if you fight those people who came to you, the Muslims, we offer you support and so on. And they started taking action. The mushrikun started taking action, hostile action against Muslims. But before this, they had the intention, before they executed, the Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam came to them and he reminded them, like, we signed the treaty, and then they stopped thinking about war anymore. So that was clear then that Quraysh, keep this in mind. Now Quraysh didn't want to leave Muslims alone. They started provoking other people to war against Muslims. Another thing that Quraysh did, Sa'd ibn Mu'adh, who was the leader of Al-Aws. This is like a minister or something, because he was the leader of the big group of Muslims then. He went to make Umrah, and in Mecca, definitely. And Bayt al-Haram is not owned by Quraysh or anything. They had just happened to be residents of Mecca. So anybody can come and make Umrah. This is the house of God, house of Allah. But Abu Jahl saw him and he said, now you're making Umrah, you're visiting us safely, and you are enjoying, everything, while you offer like a safe place for a subah, for those who changed their religion from our people. Now you offer them a safe place, and you're coming after it's a crime for him. After you have done all of that, you're coming and wandering safely in Mecca like this. Sa'd was with Abu Safwan, Umayyah ibn Khalaf. They were like kind of friends, or they had relationships. He said, by Allah, that's Abu Jahl, by God, if you were alone, if you would not offer protection by Umayyah, Abu Safwan, you would have never gone back safely, like we will kill you. That was again another sign that إعلان لصد المسلمين عن البيت. That was an announcement that Muslims are not welcome in Mecca. We will stop them from coming. And we even killed them, because he's not talking to a regular person. He's talking to a leader of one of the big leaders of Medina. So that was another message, a hostile message. Also, Quraysh used to have relationships even before Islam with the Jews in Medina, في يثرب يعني. And Jews, they were known historically, and they used to cast animosity between Al-Aws and Al-Khazraj, the tribes living with them in Medina, always trying to make them fight in war all the time. They were doing it all the time. So they started also communicating with Quraysh somehow, so Muslims started not feeling comfortable. They were sleeping with the silah, with the weapons, ready for anything. They felt, you know, there's a lot of dangers from outside and from inside. حتى كانوا ينامون في السلاح ويصبحون في السلاح, having weapon ready all the time. They were with the Prophet ﷺ, protecting him all the time, until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed an ayah, وَاللَّهُ يَعْصِمُكَ مِنَ النَّاسِ, and Allah protect you from or against the people. So he said, I don't want any guards anymore, you go, leave me alone, because Allah will provide me protection. Then at this time came the permission from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, at the beginning, permission to fight. Before that, it was not allowed for Muslims to fight. Do not forget, they have been like this for over more than 13 years, persecuted. Some of them, their money was properties and everything they got were confiscated before Hijrah. Their houses were taken. And now, even after Hijrah, few things happened that they showed hostile action. Now Muslims are not anymore behaving as individuals. No, this is a sovereign country, new country, that the only way that's acceptable is to respect, in dealing with each other, is respecting each other. Now you threaten our people who come to the house of God, and Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam will take it to a different level by the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that we will fight against you. We will do the same thing for you. You frighten our people who come to your place, we do the same for those who pass by our place as well. Caravans of Quraysh were coming from Mecca to Sham, north, that passes by Medina or close to Medina. You did it, you started that with our people who are coming safely to make Hajj or Umrah, visit the house of God, just because you happen to be there. We do the same thing with you. We will not leave your caravans go safely. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave them the permission to fight against Quraysh, and then later on against anybody who will start violation or start aggression against Muslim. Anybody who is safe, who is like good, peaceful, no problem with him. But anybody who will start violation or taking hostile action or allying with anybody who is against Muslims, Muslims were giving permission to war against them. And Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam started sending as-saraya wal-ghazawat, expeditions and ghazwa. Expedition, you know, he used to appoint any of his companions to lead. He was not the leader. But al-ghazwa is the expedition or military expedition that he himself ﷺ would lead. We talked in the beginning, from the beginning of these saraya military expeditions. From next time, inshaAllah ta'ala. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم وجزاكم الله خيرا.